Story 1. Chemical hot packs, such as hot hands hand warmers or thermocare heat patches, are rated for a specific number of hours of heat. Hand warmers typically provide 10 hours of heat, while thermocare patches provide 16 hours. These packs work through a chemical reaction with oxygen. This means you get heat for the rated number of hours of oxygen exposure, but the hours do not have to be consecutive. If you only need heat for a few hours, place the packs in a sealed bag when you are done. They will cool almost instantly, preserving the remaining heat for several more hours. There is no need to discard them if you do not need heat immediately. If your hot packs stop working early, it is usually because they lack sufficient oxygen. Remove them from gloves, pockets, or shoes for a moment, and they will warm up again. Story 2. When ordering something online, I add it to my cart and let it sit for a couple of days. Many times, I have been sent the "you forgot something" email and a promotional code for a percentage off. Story 3. Dental tablets, like the ones that dissolve to clean dentures, clean water bottles incredibly well. They are super lightweight to carry while camping, hiking, or traveling. I have shared this hack with all my friends. Story 4. When purchasing citrus fruit, select the heavy ones. They are more likely to be fresh and juicy than the lighter ones, assuming the same variety and similar size. Story 5. In Microsoft Word, if you select text and press Shift plus F3, you cycle through all capital letters, all lowercase letters, and first word capitalized. Story 6. Instead of pressing backspace 10 times when you misspell a word and want to retype it, hold the Control key and then press backspace to delete the entire word. Story 7. A wet latex glove, moved in circular motions, removes all the pet hair embedded in your couch's upholstery, forming neat little balls that you can easily collect and discard. Edit. Thanks for all the input. A bare hand can cause friction burns or tire from so much rubbing, so a latex glove is better, but still not as fast or efficient as a lightly wet glove. I keep a bowl of water nearby to redip my hand now and then. Story 8. People who work on Windows computers can press the Windows key and V at the same time. Instead of pasting immediately, it opens your entire clipboard. Once you enable it, it will save a history of what you copy, allowing you to pick and choose. Enjoy. Story 9. If your brown sugar becomes hard and unusable, seal it in a resealable plastic bag overnight with a slice of apple or bread. The sugar will absorb moisture from the slice and become as good as new. Story 10. Use a seam ripper to clean your vacuum brush roll. It makes a difficult chore take less than a minute. Also, clean your cleaning tools. It makes a huge difference. Story 11. Open jars with your left hand. The direction of the turn to open and the thumb position are the key factors. When you open a jar with your right hand, you use your fingers, which fold over, causing you to miss out on the rigidity provided by your thumb bones. Story 12. Hydrogen peroxide to clean blood off all fabrics. No, it does not bleach the fabric. Yes, it is near instant and completely effective with no scrubbing. Just saturate, wait a few minutes, and rinse. Do it a few times if the blood is old. It always works. Story 13. Squeegee the water off your body with your hands before getting out of the shower, and your towel will dry much quicker. If it is dark and you need to turn on a light briefly, such as in the bathroom at night, keep one eye closed. It will stay adjusted to the darkness, allowing you to see when you turn the light off. This was reportedly a World War II fighter pilot trick for dealing with explosions at night. Story 14. I have really sensitive ears. Most earrings irritate them except those made from titanium. So I got 14-gauge implant-grade titanium tunnels and just put the cheap earrings through them like a sleeve. It works great, and now I can wear whatever earrings I want without any reaction. Highly recommend for people with sensitive ears. Story 15. Not really a hack, but library branches often have digital libraries where you can view recent movies and TV shows for free from the comfort of your home or anywhere. Access will vary from one branch to another. It is either through a specific website or app unique to the branch. Some branches work with the Hoopla app offering the same access. Note that you may need an active library card to access the digital library. Story 16. When you buy a house or rent a new apartment, Create a new Gmail account for its address. Then send anything related to the house or apartment to that one email so that when it is time to leave or sell, you have a history of everything done or spent on the property. Story 17, having two checking accounts, one for bills and one for spending, is a good strategy. Total up all of your monthly bills and divide by the number of paychecks you receive in a month. That amount, plus a little extra for cushion, should go into the bills account. The rest is for saving or spending and goes into the other account. Never keep the debit card for the bills account with you. That money is not for fun. This way, you will always have the money for your bills and can pay them right away. Story 18, you can just get up and leave. You do not have to react to everything out of a misguided sense of self-respect. Story 19, politely asking for things. People often assume or default to terrible service or think things cannot be done for them. If you approach a situation respectfully and ask for what you want, many times it is not a big deal to get it done. I have received VIP upgrades for concerts, free food, complimentary airport lounge passes, reservations at hard-to-get places, and bill concessions. It is amazing how rudely most people in customer-facing roles are treated. If you approach them with dignity and respect, they will often happily extend a courtesy to you. They are people, and if they are the right person, they can often bend the rules in ways you would not have received if you had not asked. This also works with friends, family, and partners. Story 20. Judging by the number of people who pull up on my bumper at every light, apparently many do not know this, you should pull up to the point where you can still see the bottom of the tires of the car in front of you. This gives you enough space to move into another lane and leave safely. You never know when traffic ahead will stop suddenly. There might be an accident, a stopped train, or another issue. Make sure you can leave without problems. Story 21. If you press and hold the spacebar on your phone keyboard, it turns into a trackpad so you can move the cursor around. I have watched grown adults lose their minds when they learn this. Story 22. If you have a hiccup or side stitch while running, you can get rid of it by exhaling completely until you have no more breath, then holding your breath for a few seconds. Story 23. Those thick plastic bands that wrap shipping boxes can be removed without a knife or scissors. Just look where the two ends connect and flip the band over. Grab the loose tab there and give it a yank. Most of the time, they will just disconnect. Story 24. When using the free version of the app MyFitnessPal in the United States, you can no longer use the barcode scanner to add the foods you want to track easily. You can set your location to the United Kingdom, for instance, and the barcode feature is then available. Just go into your profile to set your location. Story 25. Learn all the shortcut keys to become efficient at any programs you may be using, such as music production, Photoshop, video editing software, Blender, programming, and more. All you need to do is find them in the manual of the programs or search for them on Google or YouTube. Story 26. If you want to use a store's discounted price but don't want to be bothered with creating an account or giving your phone number or email, just use the phone number from the 1980s song Jenny and your local area code. The number is 867-5309. I have been using this number for years at places like CVS, grocery stores, and department stores, and it works almost every time. I am clearly not the only person doing this. The receipts often show significant amounts of money saved. The last time I used it at CVS, I had saved approximately $6,000 this year. Story 27. I roll instead of folding my towels. They stack better, come out more easily, and fit better in the cupboard. Story 28. Work pro tip, particularly if you are in an office or corporate environment. Just doing your work silently is not enough. There is a reason those who are most vocal usually get promoted. It might be unnatural, but you need people to know the work you are delivering. You have to be comfortable with humble bragging to keep climbing. Story 29. Throw a corn cob in the microwave for 4.5 minutes, leaves and all. As soon as it is done, take it out and chip off the fat round end. Quickly squeeze the tip, and the corn slides out with no leaves or threads. It is real fast food. Great when you have kids to feed quickly. Cool in cold water. Story 30. Hanging shirts on hangers. If you put your arm down the neck hole and hold the top of the hanger, You can pull the shirt down over it. Then you can stack about 5 shirts on your arm and hang them very quickly. I did not realize how hard that was to explain verbally until I tried. Story 31. On BMW vehicles, there is a lever on the left side of the steering wheel that indicates if you want to turn left or right. Story 32. Control F to find a keyword in a document. I worked for a multi-billion-dollar business where the production manager and the owner did not know about Control F. They would read through lists of hundreds of clients looking for information when I thought, how do you think I got through college? They were young as well, perhaps 24 and 38. Of course, I was severely underpaid and ended up switching career fields after that difficult experience. Story 33. Using Google and adding Reddit at the end to find a community of people who experience the same issues as you. Story 34. Concert earplugs on your keychain. The industrial circus peanut style muffles sound and is horrible. Spend $40 on ones that reduce decibels by about 20 and let sound pass through a tiny hole. I have had mine for almost a decade now. Do not be a dumb kid like me. Start using them now. Not only does the music still sound right, but the 15 to 20 decibels they cut off do a remarkable job of selectively blocking out the voices of those drunk people talking a few seats over. Story 35. In a majority of computer programs as well as most popular operating systems, you can select multiple items at a time that are not next to each other by holding the Control key while clicking on them. Similarly, in many programs, if you click an item, hold Shift, and then click the last item, it will highlight everything in between. Story 36. Airline neck pillows. The opening goes in the back where the backrest is, and you do not need any more support. The whole point of these pillows is to allow you to sleep sitting upright without your head tilting forward and waking you. Story 37. My wife and I like to get takeout once a week or so, and if the food is genuinely good, I like to call the restaurant and say, "Hi, my name is Triple X, and we just picked up an order of Triple X for takeout." Insert short pause. You can hear the tension build on the restaurant end, expecting a complaint. I just wanted you to know that was one of the best meals we've eaten in a long time. Please thank the chef and everyone working in the back of the house for us. I don't know if restaurants have a secret code or some way of identifying customers, but we always seem to have better interactions with them on future orders. Most importantly, it lets the back of the house know that we really do appreciate their hard work. Story 38. What is your, I cannot believe other people do not know this hack? Politeness counts. Also, admitting when you are wrong goes a lot farther than denying. Story 39. When you want to listen to a voice message and you are, for example, in public, simply hit play and put your phone to your ear as if you were taking a phone call. It plays the sound just through the speaker used in phone calls, so not everyone has to listen to the voice message. Story 40. I am 31 and recently learned how to lift the top of my oven to clean underneath it. I had been using a brush through the gaps for years. I also learned how to take the bottom drawer out to clean under the oven. Once I realized this, I felt like such an idiot for not knowing. Story 41. When reheating food in the microwave, do not put it in the center of the plate. Place it on the edge. Microwaves heat more evenly around the outer edges, so your food will warm up faster and more uniformly. Story 42. Human resources is not your friend. They are hired to protect the company, not you. Anonymous surveys at work are also not anonymous. The creator of the survey has access to who wrote what. You're welcome. Story 43. If you clean as you go, your house stays cleaner for longer periods because cleaning becomes more convenient and not a separate task you postpone until Sundays or another day. Waiting 3 minutes for something to cook in the microwave? Clean some of the kitchen during those 3 minutes. Moving from one area of the house to another? Carry items in that area to their proper destination. Dishes in the recreation room? Take them to the kitchen on your way. Bedroom trash full? Carry the bags to the garage on your way. Think about where you are going, and what items need to be taken with you. Never make a trip from point A to point B without returning something to point B. Keep cleaning supplies close to where you use them. Don't store kitchen cleaners in the laundry room. Don't store upstairs bathroom cleaners in a downstairs hall closet. Keep paper towels near places where spills might occur. Dining room, recreation room, bathroom, or bedside table. Have more than one broom and dustpan, and keep one set in the kitchen, garage, or other convenient locations. They are inexpensive. Story 44. When in public, you can watch videos and listen to music easily by using a simple device called headphones. Story 45. Fancy zones for any office job that uses many windows or tabs. You can preset any size and hold Shift while you drag a box onto your zone, and it will automatically snap to the size and location you set. Similarly, Windows key plus left arrow or right arrow will automatically resize the window to take up half the screen. Story 46. You can watch YouTube without advertisements on mobile very easily through a browser with ad blocking properties. I am sure there are several options. I am using one called Brave, which is an unusual name for a browser, but it works well. It has transformed YouTube from being full of advertisements and very frustrating to being enjoyable again. Story 47. I have one credit card that is used exclusively for recurring bills, and it never leaves the house. It is also set to automatic payment, so I never have to think about it. Story 48. I am a 74-year-old man and wish more men realized that just listening to a woman will make her like you more. Asking women about themselves with genuine interest will seal the deal. Story 49. Fill your thermos with hot water and let it sit for 5 minutes before adding your hot drinks. Dump the hot water out before adding the drink. That thing burns your mouth 8 hours later. Story 50. Feelings are not facts. Acknowledge your feelings but relate them to the present circumstances. Do not allow your self-critic to use difficult feelings to support a negative self-narrative that convinces you that you are broken, less than, or a failure. Life is hard, and experiencing difficult emotions is not enjoyable. However, these emotions are part of you trying to communicate that something is wrong. Some part of you needs compassion, understanding, patience, and self-soothing, not criticism. Story 51. There are websites where you can watch every television show, movie, and sporting event completely free. I have canceled many subscription services thanks to this. Story 52. Word files are just zip files. Change the .docs extension to .zip and unzip the contents into a folder. There will be a subfolder with all of the graphics, so you do not have to scroll through the entire document and save each image individually. Story 53. Not a hack but a tip. When searching on Google or Bing and you keep seeing the same few websites clogging the search results, you can type a minus sign followed by the website name to exclude it. For example, -amazon.com. Story 54. You can make homemade chips better than any store-bought ones using your air fryer. Cut them with the skin on and then throw them in salted boiling water for 7 minutes. Just before they go soft, drain them, add salt, pepper, a pinch of onion powder, and garlic powder, then toss in oil. Air fry at 180 degrees Celsius for 17 minutes, and you will have better chips or fries than any junk you get in a bag. For a fancier option, use butter instead of oil and add chili powder for a kick. Story 55. Adding peanut butter to oatmeal makes it tastier and more satisfying. People often complain about oatmeal because they have not added good flavor or fat to keep them full. Story 56. I got tired of using the mouse to shut down my computer and do not like holding down the power button, so I found the hotkey sequence to shut down. Story 57. Using a slightly damp paper towel to cover food. When you microwave, it prevents the food from becoming dry and retains more flavor. Story 58. Control plus Shift plus Escape takes you straight to Task Manager. It is not a huge time saver, but it is convenient. Story 59. In high school and college, the first week of classes is the most important. Figure out what makes the teacher's job rewarding and where to focus your efforts for a good grade. When you are in the teacher's good graces and know what contributes to your overall grade, you have a good amount of flexibility. Story 60. It's not a hack, but I am constantly surprised at how few people realize this. Everything financed by advertisements is designed solely to capture your attention for as long as possible without any regard for truth, accuracy, your personal well-being, or the benefit of society as a whole. except what is legally required. Anything that can be done to eke out another 10 minutes of watch time will absolutely be done at the expense of your mental health. Games, news sites, social media, streaming services, online video, podcasts, traditional television, traditional radio. Every single one of them is incentivized to steal as much time as possible from you without giving you anything of value in return. If you are concerned, frustrated, or disappointed about your screen, watch, or listen time, try reaching out to a mental health professional and know that it is not a failing on your part. Story 61. On an iPhone, when trying to add an application into a folder but struggling because the folder always moves, hold one finger on the icon until all the icons are shaking, then press the folder where you want to place it. Story 62. The majority of my friends who make very decent wages do not know how to save for retirement or avoid learning about it. I think about half even live paycheck to paycheck, even though they are making well within the middle to upper middle class range. It is very concerning how few people take their home finances seriously and prefer to just spend without planning. Story 63. I just learned from my father that the water heater needs to be emptied once a year to prevent calcium buildup and to prolong the heater's life. My husband and I have lived in our home for about 7 years. Story 64. Doing the laundry, washing the dishes, and playing with your children are some of the most reliably effective ways to attract your wife. Story 65. When opening a new deodorant, do not try to pull the inner cap off. Instead, twist the bottom to raise the deodorant and push the seal out. Story 66. If you are depressed, not feeling well, or had a difficult time, get out from underneath the blanket and take a walk around the block. You will feel much better after about 10 minutes of moving. If you are actually bedridden or very sick, do not. But if you are hungover, beating yourself up, or not feeling well, go for a stroll. You will feel better when you get back. This is not to say walking cures depression. Everyone has their own experiences. I felt better after walking my dogs following a week of refusing to get out of bed. That was a starting point, and I am doing better now. This is a positive message. Take care of yourselves. Story 67. When you are using a roller to paint walls in your house, never use a roller tray. Get a 5-gallon bucket with a lid at your local home improvement store. Buy a roller screen that fits in the bucket. Pour some paint into the bucket and start rolling. Always use a roller pole. Do not hold the roller in your hand, as it is much more work. When finished, tap the roller cover into the paint and put on the lid. You are ready to go tomorrow with only the roller frame to clean. The next day, insert the end of the roller frame into the end of the roller cover left in the bucket with paint. Tap lightly on the opposite end of the roller frame, and the cover will slide back onto the frame. This method saves time and effort. Story 68. When making boxed macaroni and cheese, when you drain your noodles, take a bit of pasta water and mix it in the pot with milk and cheese packets. When combined and most of the clumps are gone, a whisk helps, then add your noodles and mix. This makes for better consistency and coverage. When getting out of the shower, use your hands to squeegee yourself dry and flick water off before getting out. You dry off quicker and don't end up with a soaking wet towel. When reheating food in the microwave, put a small amount of water in a cup or dish along with the food. The water evaporates and prevents drying out, and also absorbs some of the energy so your food doesn't end up scalding hot and still cold in spots. This works great for pizza too. Turning your air conditioning on with heat will defrost your windshield faster. All air conditioning does is remove moisture from the air. Floss, then use mouthwash, then brush in that order. Don't rinse your mouth after brushing or you remove all the fluoride that would normally absorb into your teeth. To last longer in bed, control your breathing and focus on relaxing your pelvic muscles. Tensing them speeds up climax. If you don't need access to a teller, switch to an online-only bank and avoid bank fees. You can save thousands by not paying $35 a month for checking account access. Story 69. When buying bagged salad, choose the bags that are not puffed up. Look for the flattest bags, as they are the freshest. When the salad starts to spoil, it causes the bag to inflate. Story 70. 1. Live within your means. No matter how poor I was in my life, I knew that someone else was making do with less. Related to number 1 above, learn to cook and prepare your food at home. With the budget of takeout fast food, one can eat gourmet and healthy, often with less time, with some organization. Story 71. Save the plastic bags from your produce. During your cooking preparation, line a bowl with a bag and put all the scraps into it. This makes kitchen cleanup easier. Story 72. For pet owners, clothes with a lot of hair on them can be easily cleaned by wetting your hands and rubbing the hair off. Story 73. You do not have to get expensive reading glasses from your optometrist. You can get affordable reading glasses from the pharmacy. Story 74. Just tell yourself you are not going to hit the snooze button. I train myself by setting my alarm with enough time to grab a biscuit and iced coffee at McDonald's on the way to work. But only if I get up at the alarm without snoozing. Now, when the alarm goes off, I get up immediately without snoozing. My backup alarm goes off when I am already on the road. Story 75. If you have double-hung windows, you are supposed to open the top window as well. Hot inside air escapes through the top and is replaced by cooler outside air coming in from the bottom. Having both open even a few inches is more effective at airing out a room than opening just the bottom window all the way. I am always surprised how few people know to do this. Story 76. When you put the lid on a Starbucks coffee cup, orient the side seam of the cup to the opposite side from the mouth hole to prevent dribbling. Story 77. When showing people pictures on your phone, zoom in slightly so they cannot swipe to another picture on your camera roll. Story 78. As a dental hygienist, anything is always better than nothing. You do not have to brush and floss at the same time. Just at some point during the day is preferred. Don't like string floss? Try dental picks. Keep them in the shower, in the car, on your nightstand, or on the couch. Don't like floss at all? Try a Waterpik water flosser. Waterpik is a brand known for research-backed products. Handheld models are good for travel, or if they are rechargeable, you can take them into the shower. Just fill the tank twice. I prefer models that sit on the counter because they have better pressure control and a larger tank. Just fill once. Other options include toothpicks, proxy brushes or soft picks, and rubber tip stimulators. Anything to disrupt plaque and stimulate the gums. Anything is always better than nothing. A poor quality toothbrush is better than no brush. Flossing once a week is better than none at all. Always do the best you can. Story 79. I figured this out when I was trying to rebook a flight after a hurricane. After a couple of hours trying to get through, when they said, press 1 for English, press 2 for Spanish, I just went ahead and pressed 2. It was answered immediately. Then, when I said I didn't speak Spanish, they transferred me to an English speaker. It was answered immediately. I got my flight rebooked right then. Story 80. Boiled chicken and rice for a sick dog, bland but sustaining. Often necessary when there are stomach troubles, for instance. Story 81. Waiting to merge until the lanes converge is not rude. It is the most efficient traffic pattern. Story 82. If you want to untie a plastic bag that is closed with a tight double knot, do not try to pull the knot apart. Take one of the ends that is sticking out of the knot, twist it really tight, and push it into the knot. Easy as that. Story 83. Cut open your empty lotion and product bottles. There is much more inside waiting for you to scrape out. Story 84. Do not open the door to police officers or talk to them, as they may lie about why they are there. It is best not to interact with them at all when they come to your home without being invited. Police officers often use an investigative technique called a knock and talk. If police contact you and ask you to come to the station for a seemingly harmless reason, it is a trap. Do not go. Call a lawyer. Story 85. Always confused about which side your gas tank is located? Look on your dashboard, and there will be a small arrow next to the gas symbol pointing in the direction of your gas tank. Story 86. Soak the trimmer line in water for 10 minutes before spooling, and it will last much longer. Story 87. Baby powder removes sand. I continue to amaze people with this every summer at the beach, and I am equally surprised that no one seems to know this. Story 88. You do not need permission to leave any conversation or situation where you are not respected. You do not need to give any explanation either. You have the sovereign right to support yourself and protect your peace. Story 89. When you buy broccoli from the supermarket, is there a thick rubber band holding several stalks together? So do not throw that away. Rubber bands are fantastic for opening jars with very tight lids. Story 90. You can twist the ends of a knot on a plastic bag, push the solid ends toward the center of the knot, and boom, you have successfully undone the knot. Story 91. I use Goblin tools to break down projects into steps and reword emails so they are not misunderstood. Story 92. Costco rental cars. You do not pay upfront, so rent the car and check back periodically to see if the price goes down. If it does, cancel and rebook. Story 93. Use a pistachio shell to open the pistachios that have only a small gap instead of ruining your fingernails. Story 94. Prayer and meditation do not change other people or your surroundings. What they change is you. How you interpret situations, other people's actions, and how you react. As you calm and filter life through this lens, the people around you become calmer, more at ease, more open to connection with you, and life expands. Story 95. Foaming hand soap is very inexpensive if you make it yourself. It is simply 1/3 regular liquid soap to 2/3 water. You can buy liquid soap in bulk from stores like Costco or Sam's Club for about $11 for a couple of gallons. This will give you at least 6 gallons of foaming soap, meeting your hand soap needs for a long time at a low cost. All you need after that is a bottle that can create foam. You can either reuse an old bottle or purchase a higher quality one made with ceramic and metal if you prefer. Story 96. Chrome. More tools. Developer tools. Media. Extensions. Refresh your page. You can now download any movie, video song, or YouTube video for free. Story 97. You do not have to post mean comments on people's posts. You can just scroll by. This is not really a hack, but it is good life advice that many people are lacking. Story 98. If you feel frozen with anxiety, eat something with enough protein, even if you do not want it. You will feel better afterward. Story 99. Control plus arrow key will move the cursor to the beginning of a word. Control plus backspace will delete a word. Control plus shift plus arrow key will highlight or select a word. Shift plus home will highlight the whole line, then delete or backspace to remove it. Control plus shift plus home will highlight the entire text, then delete or backspace to remove it. Combine these with your standard copy and paste commands, and you will be able to quickly edit documents. Story 100. Cannot open a jar? Tap all around the lid with a wooden spoon or something similar. It should be easier to open. Story 101. You do not need to stand up immediately when the airplane lands. It will not get you off the airplane any quicker. Story 102. When you are having a bowel movement and need to strain, try blowing into your hand as if you were inflating a balloon without actually letting any air out. This technique relaxes your muscles and helps significantly. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.